do it again. Okay, so we're going to learn Rav Tzaddik on Vayishlach. I'm sorry, the Komarna on Vayishlach. We just did Rav Tzaddik, and the Komarna on Vayishlach talks about, and we'll see other facets as well, of what happened with all the people that they killed, all these men that they killed, 24,000, after Dina was taken to get their sister back. What will happen there? They waited the third day. What happened there? So we're going to talk. We're going to go on. We're going to move to also Ramad Valie. We'll talk about it. The Hakesav V'hakabalah is our peep shot. The easiest way I've seen till now is the pshat of the Hakesav V'hakabalah. He says like this. He says Dina overheard them, the people in the city, plotting to kill Yaakov and the brothers. That they were angry about the Milah, that they weren't happy about it. Let's just kill them. We don't need them. Take their stuff, and that's it. So therefore she told father and brothers, and Shimon and Levi just went in and dealt with them. So if these people are planning to kill them, and especially in antiquity, it's hard for us even to relate to how people were way before the Dark Ages. These people were very, very unsophisticated. They were savages. They made a decision to kill people. They were willing to do anything for it. So you have to, in order to protect your own life, what are you supposed to do? You have these enemies. They want to blot you out in the very beginning, very first part of the anti-Semitism. So you know what? Forget it. And we'll see maybe a little bit of why that is. That's the easiest, a peep shot, that's an easy shot to understand. Dina communicated with them somehow. They came, rescued her, and took everybody out who was a threat. And even though they wanted to take them out, so they waited till it was the easiest possible time. Okay, fine. So that's the easy mahalach. The reason why I want to bring in the Komarna, maybe a little bit of tzaddik also, which is really the Ari, is the fact that we have to understand that we really don't know what's going on in this world. And we'll get a little bit of an impression of how things are, and we'll understand a little bit better Ramad Valie's radical chiddush and what happened. It's very, very interesting, very fascinating mahalach that he goes with. But we have to know the first thing, which is that there are gilgulim, there are things that are happening that we have no idea what's going on. There are tikkunim, there are stuff going on which we just don't get. And like I like to say, and you probably heard from me already, quite likely, that every person, we want to be something different. We feel that if I had different opportunities, different character traits, different weaknesses, different strengths, if it was easier here, if this worked out for me, if that worked out for me, then I would be the way I want to be. If only that was the way it was, then it would work. Yeah. And the truth is, every person, we're all supposed to go to Piskei Shari Tzedek, Avo Mamadiyah, right? We have to open up the Shari Tzedek, we have to open the gates of righteousness, go in, and praise Hashem. Zer Hashem, Tzadikim Avoyabo. You have to be zochah to go into that shar, your shar, and fix what you need to fix. The key to that shar, the lock on that shar, the lock to that lock, is you, me, our situation, what we went through, how we are constructed. That's the way you get in. That's it. There's a story of Shecehm. Also, I'm very fond of bringing down that Rabbi Natali Amsterdam asked him on Purim, he was drunk. So that's what he saw. He said, "What am I going to do?" He said, "If I had the mind of the Shagasai, the heart of the Yisod V'Shor Shavoida, and the Rebbe, or Yisod Salantos Midas," he said, "then I could be the real deal. But me, myself, how am I supposed to get what I'm supposed to? How am I supposed to really get completion?" Rabbi Yisod Salantos said, "No, that's not what it's about. Your head, your heart, your Midas, that's what you need to work with. We're sent here for that specific reason. And everything we went through and everything we've seen is all exactly calibrated in ways we do not understand. And what really happens, what's really going on, we just don't understand. We don't get it. We don't get it. So we don't get it, so we don't get it. That's what the Rambam says. We don't really know what's good, what's bad. Something happens to a person, he got hurt. So people say, like, Nebuch, it's so bad. So he says, I think it's the Rambam brings this thing, said this down, and there was something to this effect. And he said, who knows if it's bad or good? He broke his leg or something. Then people come in to draft all the eligible. Oh, man, he has a broken leg. They can't take him. He said, it comes out that was it good that he broke his leg? It was great that he broke his leg. But it was a little difficult. Yeah. But now he's not going to be sent to this hopeless war without a choice. Soldiers. So sometimes there's such a thing. So that's not so simple. So okay, so we have like this. So the truth is that, like we saw before, there's a whole cheshbon what happened to make Dina open to be susceptible to this whole situation here. But really, And that's really what the Komarna brings. It's really in that Ari as well, which is that. Right, this is that Ari too. Yo. Yep. So there is some really amazing things here. We come on to bring some of it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we have like this. So really, let's see the Komarna, maybe makes it easier. Let's see the Komarna now. So really, yeah, exactly. And that's what he says. The Arizal says, because of Chet, right, Adam and Chava, they messed up. The whole world got filled with this spiritual filth, which makes things very difficult to deal with. Right? It's not so easy. So, right, that's really expression is brought in Svarim. It's an expression of the Chet, Adam and Chava is Tum and Tara. All these things come out from the Zohar. From why? Because they fell. Right? So there are sparks to be picked up. And the Zohar, the Rebbe brings the Zohar says that their being together fixed Dina. and fixed Shechem. Because he had a job. He was a spark that they had a connection, and that was able to take the bad of her in some way and pick up him in some way. It's a very, very deep idea. So the Komarna takes that a step further, and he says, you see that what happened, that really, in a certain level, Shechem parallel that had a spark of Adam in him. And Dina parallel had a spark of Chava in her. So therefore, Shechem felt very drawn to her, and she also felt drawn to him because they had a shaykhs. There was a connection between the two of them, right? That's his, right? So that's how he explains. He said that there was a deep connection. He felt, he wanted his own, the part of her that was his, that had to do with him. Right? So in a certain way, Dina got purified by it. This Zohar he brings. And then she became purified, and then she was able to marry Shimon. Again, we know that there are certain relationships that are prohibited from the Torah. The reason why those relationships are prohibited is because the Zohar, it's very interesting. When you learn the Zohar on Remos, it's really, I remember being very flummoxed. Because all these relationships it talks about, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that, it says, more or less, all these things represent very high things happening on high. Almost everything. All these relative things that happen there, everyone, this is this bechina, this is that bechina, it's like, what is going on here? So Shlach Kodesh says, because it's a high bechina, it's like a bechina of chelev. Chelev, because you bring on the mizbeach, you're not allowed to eat chelev of the bechina. Because you bring on mizbeach, it's for Hashem. So sometimes it's as if it's very high somewhere else. There's no expression here in the world, it's bad expression. That's also why, genetically speaking, a person marries his sister, bad news. A person marries his daughter, bad news. Very bad. Very, very unhealthy also psychologically, and unhealthy physically, because it's just bad. And I think that's pretty clear that people, at the moment at least, I think the modern world also understands this. Mice is damaging. Maybe they wouldn't otherwise, but it's damaging. Psychologically, it's damaging. Physically, for the children, so it's not a good idea. Right? Fine. So again, the Shlach Kodesh says, because it powers high things, so therefore it's not something we can do. Now, the others were able to do. Not everyone did, but there was such a thing earlier times, like, Kan Hevel, different inyanim that was possible there was a possibility of expressing in this manner. They were on that level for whatever reason, from on Torah, whatever you want to say. I'm sure there's no genetic problem there because they were somehow the exception to the rule. Right? And that's not really something we can figure out now, especially after the Mount Torah. There's no exception to the rule. But there was a possibility for that. Right? So, fine. So now, you have this situation with Dina and Shechem. Right? So really the reality is that The reality is that Shechem came back a couple of times. So Tzaddik brings that Shechem came back as Zimri. And Zimri ben Tzalul, who was Nasir Shimon, who was with Kazbi Bas Tzor, who was a Gil of Dina. They came back, and it was also a misexpression. Then they had to avoid each other, and they didn't, so that was messed up everything. And how many people died in Shimon? How many people died in that, remember, Parshas? In Parshas Balak, how many people died in Magefa?
Oh, the plague.
Yeah, how many people died until Pinchas took care of it? 24,000. Yes, that's correct. And it's the same 24,000, I believe it's from, I don't remember where the source is, but I live from the Torah, that's the same 24,000. And you know what else that the Ramad Pano says? He says these were very high neshamas that they killed. I'm not trying to get to a place of why it happened this way. I'm just explaining what was the result of it happening. This was something that happened. They were very high neshamas that had to be fixed. They were killed. They came back. Pashas, like I said, like the shit over there by the people who died in Parshas Balak and the Parshas Balak, and they came back again as Rebbe Akiva's Tamidim. 24,000 Tamidim. I died again because they went to the covered the Bazan. They slowly but surely, then they getting better and better and better. That's like lat getting a bureau, getting clarification. Fine. So that's the bottom line. So he said very hard to show. Listen, this they did the Mila, they did this, they did all these different things. So that's what we're talking about. That's what we're dealing with. Okay, so that's pretty much the whole of it. The only thing that the really says, and then he brings here also, right?
Read the Komarna.
The Komarna, thank you, and that brings it also, right? So they came to the city, Shechem and Hamor, right? And again, there's some people say Shechem was also the Nasi. Shechem was the big. Because he was the big details, he was the big or, and he came back again in different levels. And he says another thing that Shechem came back. Shechem came back in the end. He got so much as tikkun. He came back as Ruchini ben Trajan, who was killed. Called Shecehm, one of the big Chachamim. He was that. Shechem fixed. He came back there. Mm-hmm. Fine. That's what the Rebbe said. The Rebbe explains. That's why Shechem and Hamor said, these people are complete with us. They will. Settle on the land, and they will do business here. The land's very broad, plenty of space. So the Rebbe says Rechavas is Rabbi Chanina ben Trajan. Reish Ches Vei tough. Rabbi Chanina ben Trajan, because he doesn't realize it, but he's saying they'll come Rechavas Shadayim, meaning he thinks there's a lot of land, but really what he's saying is that they'll do what they need to do here, and some of them be a tikkun, and he'll be able to come back as a Chanina ben Trajan. That's how the Rebbe explains that the Komarna brings as well. Fine, very good. So now in terms of understanding the whole thing, what happened, both Hakesav V'hakabalah, but the Ramad Valie is very, very beautiful. The first thing Ramad Valie says is when they came the third day, not only because they were in pain and he says, okay, in the end they killed the men. He said, but you can't just show up at a city and assume that no one's going to, you start killing off the men, people, no one's going to, there's many women, no one's going to do anything to fight these two people. There's only two people. Like postures on a simple level. You have these two guys. She says they came the third day because they wanted this chus of Yaakov. Yaakov was the third meet of Tiferes, of Emes. So they waited for his chus. And really they had this chus of Yaakov. That's why they were successful. But Ramad Valie said it was not their job to kill these people. Even though it worked out a big tova in the end, they came back in this way and that way, they did big tikkun, they were high neshamas. They should not, the Ramad Valie said, who asked them to kill them? They needed to have this chus of Yaakov to rescue Dina. And that's why Yaakov's like, who asked you to kill them? Yes, I also see that it's going to be a big tikkun for them, but nobody asked you to be the guy to do that tikkun. He's like, I'm going to separate you. You're going to be busy. You're doing scribes and child teachers. You can't be trusted to be two together. You get all these strange ideas. It's not your job if you see a tikkun to go killing somebody. Even if you're right, it's masakin him. It's not your job. You don't be able to be the guy to do it. God can take care of it. You don't have to be the person. And your anger, your righteous indignation comes out. He's like, no, you don't need to be the one to go fixing things. Don't worry about being the fixer here. It's okay. She said, nobody asked them, who asked you to kill? Yeah, you're right, it's a big, yes, it's broad. He said, they're big, they're big neshamas, it's a big tikkun for them. The Mila, he also says that he says that they regretted the Mila, very much, they regretted the Mila, and really, Alpiz Mahalach, they saw it was very much weakening the whole klippos that they liked, the impurity, it was weakening very, very much. And that's not what they wanted. That's not what they liked. They wanted to be in their not negative stuff, their bad behaviors, and it was no longer interesting to them. Because they had these nitzotzos, and the milah served to help them. Now the truth is, Yosef HaTzadik also told the Mitzrayim to do milah, if you recall. Yeah. But the Rizal said that was he did that because that was the only way that the Jewish people could get out of Mitzrayim. They can't leave. I can't leave Mitzrayim because it's too hard a place, too much klipas. How do you get out? So you did milah on them then. That sort of broke the klipa and made it possible for them to leave. It's one of the things. That's what it's not only that. The truth is the Zohar Kodesh from Nassau brings this as well. Zohar Kodesh says if not for the fact that Sarah was taken by Paro and that he was hit, she took complete command of the place. And Malach did whatever she wanted to do until he released her. Couldn't do anything to her. That mastery over Paro also gave the Jewish people a possibility of leaving. Egypt was a very hard place to get out of. It wasn't such an easy place. They had powers. They had a lot of things happening. It wasn't so easy. So you had to have a lot of different levels of getting out of the place. But here he did it in order to break the klipa and pick up the good, and they were not interested. But again, nevertheless, Ramad Valie is like, but nobody asked you to kill them. God will take care of it. Don't worry. Someone needs to be killed. He can do it. You don't have to be the shliach to do that sort of thing. He said, therefore, the schus of Yaakov took care of them, but it wasn't in order for them to kill the people. It was in order for them to save their sister. They should have rescued her and got out of there. He said, they killed that. Was there, even though it was a tikkun, and they met enough tikkun, they didn't murder. It wasn't murder. And there were levels and levels of how and what and why and why. And it could be that you could work with it with Hakesav. It could be they wanted to kill them. Yaakov's chus took care of them. They could take on the whole city. His chus could take care of them. The city will live, and they still can't do anything. Like all the peoples and those savages, they were like, you killed the city of people. We'll kill you. You're only how many people are you? And they didn't do anything with Yaakov. They were free. Like, don't worry. You don't need to worry. You don't need to make decisions. You can put it together in Kabbalah. So those are the two mahalchim that I think work easiest here to understand what was going on, and that they shouldn't have. And then again, they did tremendous tikkunim. And the lesson, as we so often talk about, is again this idea of that we have no idea what's going on. Nachman said this would be chizik. He said, you don't know where you are, you don't know what's going on with you, so you just have to do what you can, and Hashem will help. But you have no idea. You're doing well, you're not doing well. And that story I always like to talk about the Hakesav V'hakabalah. Yeah. When Rav taught to Hakesav V'hakabalah, he was in Sweden. I'm not going to go into the whole thing, a very big kitzer. He was in Sweden during the Holocaust, he was teaching girls, whatever it was, maybe even a few boys as well, tutoring his family. And he felt like he was having neuritis. He felt like it's not working. I'm doing what I did in the mirror. I'm learning. I'm trying. Nothing's happening. It's so hard. It's not going. And he told him, Chatzkel, I don't know what to do. I'm doing it wrong. Tell me what to do. I'm learning the Musar. I'm doing my starim, and it's not trying to down right, and nothing's going. I feel like tremendous Urida. I feel like. And Chatzkel's he answered him up. He said, first of all, you're not the balabayas in yourself. You are not the person in a position of authority and understanding over yourself to have any clue whether you're going up, you're going down, you're staying the same. You have no idea what's happening with you. Like, it's your feelings? So? No, I feel like I'm going down. That doesn't mean a thing. That means nothing. That means zilch. You told me nothing. Oh, I feel you. Who said feelings have any relevance here? They have no place. He said, not only that, if you're just doing your learning, you're doing your musar, you're doing your davening the way you should, he said, I guarantee you are going up. You don't really feel it now. So what? He said, and you just keep it up, and you'll manage. And I've always said, people asked me, I was 8 years in Sweden, there was nothing going on. People came from the positions of authority, Rabbanim, and Dayanim, and who knows what, people were really holding, Shochem, or whatever, people who dealt with the Kehillah and did good things their whole life. And they went off the derech, did terribly soon. Just gave up. He said, I held strong. He said, I felt like it's no big deal. What do you mean? He said, it's like a person asks of somebody, he heard there was a siege in a city, there's no food. Like, how did you survive? There's no food. He's like, well, actually, I had a storehouse full of food. So he's like, so I was learning the Musar, learning the Torah and the Musar and the Tefillah. That saved me. It's like, no problem. I was completely protected. But he was very, there's two places. He was he wasn't sure. He wasn't able to hold on. Hakesav had to give him a little injection of hold strong, be tough. You have no idea what you are. You have no idea what's going on. You don't know anything. That's why Nachman says that when you want to purify something, you have a pot of water that's dirty. You start to boil it up. He said, it's coming clean, but now it looks very murky. He said, that doesn't mean you're not cleaning it, you're cleaning it. That's why this feeling, I feel so you don't feel, you're feeling that's boiling out all the bad. Very nice, great, that's the process, excellent. That's the mahalach here, that's really what we're speaking about. So we have no idea what's going on, we have no idea where we are, we don't know what's behind anything, we don't know what's going on. All we have to do is do everything we can to appreciate every word of Torah, every word of tefillah, every good thing, and to try our best. This is Ezu Gibra Kovish Yitzro, to work hard, to do what we're supposed to do in this world, to be Kovish Yitzariim, to be who we're supposed to be. Okay, so that's the Komarna. Do you mind shutting that? And then if you can turn it on again for us.